My name is Daniel Moregård. I'm a game designer on Stellaris. I'll just quickly explain what the civics are. The civics are basically a way to customize your empire further. That was introduced in, I believe, the Banks the patch that followed the Utopia expansion. And these civics, when we introduce new civics, we basically try to also make a few of them have very unique playstyles. So for machine empires, we basically have three major civics that are, changing the way you're playing quite a significant way. So the first one are the rogue servitors. So it's basically like these caretaker robots that, their creators started becoming more and more decadent, and the robots started doing more and more things for them. And eventually, the organics or their creators couldn't really take care of themselves. So you're basically playing these like caretaker robots that have set your creators as your mandatory pampering as their living standards. So like you're basically just taking care of them because you don't think they can take care of themselves. So it's gonna be overboard, but that's sort of their thing. Yeah, the second more unique one is the determined exterminators. There you have a case where basically the machines rose up. So that's basically what Elon Musk is talking to the UN about right now. Getting all these people to sign off on automated weapons bans. So imagine like we have a case where you have, all these sort of automated weapons and AI stuff, and they basically rise up and, destroy their creators. That's the second sort of civic. You're playing the determined exterminators. It's sort of like Skynet, basically. Yeah, they probably have a conflict of interest. I would assume that basically the exterminators, if they're really caring about, destroying the pampered organics, then they have to attack the empire of rogue servitors. But the rogue servitors will probably protect, them because they're protecting themselves then, because that's a part of their identity. But they don't really care about if you're attacking other empires as much, because they mostly care about the things they are taking care of. Yeah, the third more unique civic is the driven assimilators. The driven assimilators are basically they want to unify everything into their singularity. So they assimilate organic pops by making them cyborgs. So by making them cyborgs, you can turn them into as a part of your singularity, of your machine intelligence. So if you conquer a planet with other organics, you can also turn them into cyborgs over time if you want to, or just purge them as machines sometimes do. Yeah, if you don't choose any of those three, but you play a more standard machine empire, which is actually possibly my favorite. When I played recently, I actually played these sort of explorators. But anyway, like if you're playing a regular machine empires and you conquer, for example, a planet with organics, you can basically turn them into large batteries. Sort of like in the Matrix, you just drain them of energy because you keep them in these cocoons or whatever. Sort of like in the trailer. I mean, they won't be very happy about it, but that's what you can do. Yeah, from the start we had three endgame crises already: the Unbidden, the Scourge, and a sort of AI uprising. But that AI uprising endgame crisis almost never triggered because the trigger conditions were very harsh. It was very rare that it actually happened. I think it's probably less than 10% chance that it actually happened across all games. Might even be as low as 1%. I can't really remember right now. But anyway, that AI crisis has been completely reworked into something we call the contingency. And the contingency is basically this ancient AI that wants to sterilize the galaxy of all higher biological life and to control or destroy all forms of synthetic life. So we're really looking forward to seeing what players will find out and how they interact with the contingency, because I know there's a lot of cool events and stuff associated with them, and machine empires will have special interactions with the contingency, for example. I personally don't really think so, but I definitely think I'm definitely on line with what Elon Musk is doing in UN right now. Trying to actually make sure we put out some sort of ban on that automatic weapon thing, at least control it, because I think already the world we're living in now is already more complex than we can understand, and we've never really lived in a time like that before. So we have a lot of those type of challenges in front of us that will be very fun to explore in Stellaris. You know, what happens when we start allowing, you know, genetic modification? What sort of laws are we going to put in that? Are we going to have where, you know, sort of like in Deus Ex, where a large corporation owns the medicine that you need to not reject your implants, and if you don't eat the medicine, you die. So they basically have a monopoly on life. I mean, all those type of questions are interesting, and we as humans will have to face them in the future sometime.